Oh no. We have triggered a horde.
Ach! A horde! Get ready!
Greetings all and welcome back to Porthos Plays. This is episode 12 and in this episode we will be finishing up with the Desolation area, seeking out the remaining statues and getting the blueprints for the remaining pieces of the Khazad army armor set, and then pushing on to Durin's Forge. But the Khazad army armor set is going to require lots of gold to craft, so we're starting here at the stronghold of the Red-Eye Orcs, because if we clear out this stronghold we will remove the risk of hordes in the Dwaradelf area, which will allow us to harvest lots of the gold that is around in Dwaradelf. Lots of gold veins in the rooms here, and without the horde risk we can mine that safely. So, without further ado, let's get stuck in.
We got orcs! Get 'em, lads! Knock this one dead! That's all you got?
Well, slightly disappointed that there were no Shanor ingots amongst the loot from that first encounter there, because that would have been good. Would have been able to craft up the Khazad army gauntlets, because we have picked up all the recipes for those. Still need one each for the armor and the boots, but we have picked up the gauntlets. So if we had got any Khazad steel, that would have been good for that, but we didn't, so keep pushing through until we reach the boss. Depending on how much damage we take, we might have to run back for an armor reset before the boss. Okay, so we've reached the boss room, but we are out of armor, so I am going to run back, and we will be back in just a sec with our armor replenished, ready to take the boss on. And here we are again. I have taken my brewskin of evening ale just as we arrived here, and here we go.
Get 'em, lads! Let's carve 'em up good!
Focusing on the chief, trying to ignore the others, because once the chief is down, they all run away. He does hit pretty hard. He has taken some big chunks of armor out, but he can't have much left. There he goes. So interesting, that's the second one where there's not been a health bar for the chief, which there was for Bolgak, the first captain. This one and the last one just kind of was a normal, fairly tough enemy, but Bolgak had a health bar, which is interesting. I was kind of expecting them to be consistent. But we have picked up 9 Khazad steel, wonderful, and 6 gold ore, which allows us to craft another, and there is even gold in this room. And now that we've cleared this room out, we can go and mine the gold around the area freely without worrying about triggering any hordes. There's another emerald in here, excellent, and another one in there. So that 9 Khazad steel drop was really, really good. Very pleased with that. And I think I might actually just take a bit of time here to take out this gold ore vein while we're here, and then we'll have plenty in stock for Khazad steel, which I think means, as long as I've got space in my inventory, yeah, should be alright. It's time for another song.
If a spider skidded across my camp, a terrible day have she. If a spider skidded across my camp, a terrible day have she. I'm a feisty fool with an empty fork, and if she would not flee, she would wind up caught in an 8-leg knot. Spider for dinner for me.
If a wolf should pad along my path, a terrible day have he. If a wolf should pad along my path, a terrible day have he. I'm a feisty fool with an empty fork, and if he would not flee, I would hang that tail with a copper nail. Wolf for dinner for me.
If a bear should turn her claws my way, a terrible day'd have she. If a bear should turn her claws my way, a terrible day'd have she. I'm a feisty fool with an empty fork, and if she would not flee, I would raise a toast while her haunches roast. Bear for dinner for me.
If an orc should raise his sword at me, a terrible day'd have he. If an orc should raise his sword at me, a terrible day'd have he. I'm a feisty fool with an empty fork, and if he would not flee, on a spike he'd sit by my fire pit. Orc for dinner for me.
If a troll should trundle up my trail, a terrible day'd have he. If a troll should trundle up my trail, a terrible day'd have he. I'm a feisty fool with an empty fork, and if he would not flee, I'd arrange his teeth in a festive wreath. Troll for dinner for me.
If a dragon swept through Khazad-dûm, a terrible day'd have she. If a dragon swept through Khazad-dûm, a terrible day'd have she. I'm a feisty fool with an empty fork, and if she would not flee, stew for dinner for me.
Yeah, let's have stew.
And there we go, all mined out. And that leaves us with 66. So we got an even 60 from that vein, which is enough for 10 Khazad steel ingots. It doesn't actually sound like that much when you put it in that context. On top of the 6 that we'd already picked up during the fight. But of course, we did also pick up 9 Khazad steel ingots from that fight. And a sizable, almost 3 stacks, almost 300 adamant as well. So a good amount of gold there. I'm not going to hang around looking for any more now. I am just going to head back. There is another gold vein in here. In fact, there does appear to be another room to this Orctown, which is interesting. Let's have a quick little explore in here. What's going on in this room? Oh. Oh, interesting. It connects to the Orctown, which we couldn't access in the Eastern Bastion. That's interesting. Well, I think we'll run down there and have a quick look how that connects up down there. But we have cleared it out. We have taken out the captain, so I don't think we need to worry about it too much. There might be a few more orcs down there, but hopefully nothing too problematic. And if necessary, we'll just have to run away. So I'm going to have a little explore down here and see if there's anything interesting. And we'll check back at base, ready to craft up some more gear. Okay, well, here we are back at the Great Nogrod Forge, and actually I've changed my mind. I have decided that we're going to do the Forge run now because I have picked up the Horde Wrathful large bonus damage against orcs buff from being at home and admiring my treasure. So I'm going to put this last piece of the crank back in, and we're going to light the Forge and take on the Horde. Of course, we might run out of Horde Wrathful by the time the Forge lights at this rate. There we go. Here comes the horde. So we've unlocked a sword, an axe, and a new type of metal. So that's very interesting stuff. We'll have to check those out in a minute. But first, we've got to watch out for orcs. I just hope they don't bring a troll. Orcs? Any orcs coming? No? Okay. Well, I guess we'll have a look now then. So, the Red Sword of Nogrod requires Nogrod steel, rubies, fine leather and ironwood. This is a tier 5 weapon, so this is the next level above our current Khazad weaponry. This is a two-handed axe. They're the red axe of Nogrod. So Nogrod steel is what we need to craft those. Let's have a quick look in the furnace. Nogrod steel, sunstone and true quartz and iron. So we do actually, I think, have those things available. True quartz, however, is quite difficult to come by in the sense that it's not renewable. But we require 7 Nogrod steel to craft those weapons, which would require 21 sunstone, 21 iron ore, which is not a big problem, but a substantial, 84 true quartz, which is obviously a lot more than well, actually, I say that's a lot more than we have. We're carrying 30. There's several more stacks back in the base. Oh, there's an orc. Right, they finally arrived. Let's do this.
That's all you got? We got orcs! Orc drums! Get ready to fight!
It's an interesting little glitch there that the horde took such a long time. These guys aren't even that tough. He's only doing 16 damage to my armor.
That's one more for me!
Still coming? Ah, we have won the horde. Let's check out this last warg. And that's victory. Excellent. So, we have completed that. Got some loot, good and bad slag, and various other bits and pieces. And we've unlocked a couple of new weapons and a new metal type with which to craft them. So, having a quick look again on the recipe list. If I go to the Crystal Forge, can I craft those new items? No, I can't. So I do need to come back here to put them together, and presumably even in the Ufahan furnace. Oh, I can craft the steel. So I can craft the steel at the base with the resources around us. Not sure if we have 21 sunstone, but we do have the other stuff. And then I'll have to come back here to the forge itself to actually put the weapons together. And the Nogrod shield, I don't think we're going to bother with because our current shield is tier 4 anyway, and obviously the Nogrod steel is quite an effort. But for now, with the little bit of armor we have left, I'm going to have a look through some of these outstanding connections, looking for only 2 more statues, I think, are needed for us to complete the Khazad armor set, and then we'll be ready to push up to the Durin's Forge. Okay, here we are, breaching into the final room. Someone's fighting something over there. And I think there was fighting sounds over there as well. But there's one statue there. That's good. But we do need 2. So hopefully there's another one in here somewhere. Let's get this one. Khazad army boots completed. And if we can find one more, that should give us the armour. Oh dear, there's a banner over there. I do have 53 arrows though, so let's hopefully take that out. Oh no. We have triggered a horde.
Get ready!
This could be an interesting one. Hordes generally do have slightly softer enemies, so we've... Oh, there's a drake. There's a drake. Okay, we're not equipped to deal with a drake right now. Definitely not ready for a drake. So hopefully there is another statue in here. There's certainly an orc banner. The drake might actually take out some of the orcs for us, which would be interesting. But we are probably in trouble here. Yeah, I think it's time to flee. Flee in terror and come back with more kit. Okay, well I kind of forgot that my method of escape from this was putting down a map stone. So I started running and then kind of thought, oh no, where do I need to go? And ended up having to kind of take on the horde. Anyway, so we've defeated the horde. Missed a bunch of loot over here. We've defeated the horde and I am going to pop back in there and just see if I can find another statue. Hopefully the drake isn't in the way of the statue, but we might have to pop down the map stone, run back to repair our gear, and then come back to take on the drake if we do have to kill it. But we do need just one more statue, so I'm really hoping it's in here, because if it isn't, then I don't really know where it is. I don't actually obviously see another statue, which is a bit concerning.
Get 'em, lads! Now we got ya.
I was going to leave them fighting that drake there for a minute. So, is there another statue? Where did I get one earlier? There's a statue in this corner. Let's have a look around here. There we go. The last statue. Repair that up, and we should unlock the Khazad army armor. Perfect, and we should have everything we need, hopefully, to craft those when we get back to camp. So I am going to just have a look, see what this progress... Oh, well, the orcs are still alive, which suggests they've killed the drake. And the orcs I can handle. So let's take the orcs out, grab the loot from the orc camp, and head back to base. Okay, so here we are back at the camp. I managed to make it back to Frar's outpost unaccosted. I did go past a group of warring orcs, but they were too busy fighting each other to pay much attention to me. So here we are at the Crystal Forge, where we now have Khazad army boots and Khazad army armor, both of which require 4 Khazad steel, which means we do not quite have enough. We do need also an additional fine cloth. And on top of that, we would also like to... the keys are workbench items. So what I'm after is the Frar's key. However, I believe keys are crafted on the workbench. So, key. Oh. Do I need a regular forge to craft the keys? I do. So that requires 3 as well. So we need in total 11 Khazad steel. So we need to craft 4 more of those. And 1 of the fine cloth. But it does also look like I can't make the keys on the Crystal Forge, which is surprising. So I need to put in a regular forge as well. But first we're going to put 4 more of the Khazad steel in the furnace. I'm going to gather up materials and check back in once I have them all ready to go. Okay, well, here we are back at Frar's outpost. We are fully kitted up in our Khazad army gear, and I have given the old Belagos gear to Einar. But we are here for this Agfa chest, so let's have a look. Balin's letter. We've seen the head of the axe. It was too embedded in the masonry. Ah, okay, interesting. So, journey in the dark, searching the desolation. With so many orcs in the mountain, I suspect I will find it in one of their strongholds. Okay, well. Let's have a look. There it is. So, we know where we need to go. It's time to take on the next Orctown. And here we are at the encampment of the Gundabad orcs. And this time I think I might try and go in over the wall here, rather than making lots of noise breaking down the door. Ooh, oh, this hasn't gone off to a great start. There we go, one banner down. Quite a few of them have spawned. All in the same spot.
That's all you got?
Oh, I've lost my armor. Hadn't really noticed that. Need a little bit more careful about taking hits. I think I just saw one of the orcs kill one of the other orcs by mistake, which is always good and helpful.
That's one more for me.
Some bad timing there trying to charge an attack. Almost there. Right, that's him down. Switch to our anti-animal weapon now. Whoa! Whoa, that was very nearly a real problem there. Since the game doesn't pause while you're in the menus. Come on. Okay, there we go. All clear. So let's see what's in the chests. Lots of gems, jade, emerald, coins, excellent. And on this side, gold ore, more coins, sapphire, black diamonds. Cool. So we obviously need to go back and replenish our armor and heal up. So we're going to run back to Frar's outpost and bounce back to the camp and do that. And then we'll come back for the boss. Okay, here we are back in Orctown.
Knock this one dead.
Well, we took a hit there, but we've still got plenty of armor, so let's push on through. The axe is this way, as is the boss. So let's go in and take him on. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, I picked a different target for the charged attack. That's quite annoying. And he's down, just like that. So I always think the best tactic in these is definitely to focus on the chief. As you can see there, you end up taking him out.
The axe piece is here, somewhere in the Balrog's wake. The orcs must have it. They've overrun Dwaradelf.
Without getting too bogged down with their henchmen. So we'll just pick up the loot in the chests here, and then we'll look over there for the Durin's axe fragment. And here it is, the 5th axe fragment.
This is it! All 5 pieces! Time to reforge Durin's axe.
Okie dokie, so let's have a look in here. Reforge the axe is now one of the objectives. Reach the Great Forge of Durin and reforge the axe. Got information about the axe itself, and I think we'll see in the recipe list here Durin's axe, which requires Durinal iron, which we have not unlocked, but I imagine the Great Forge of Durin will give that to us. So, time to head back to base, get ourselves kitted out again, and then the last thing we'll do today is head across the bridge into Durin's Forge. I'm going to pop into this side of the Orctown first, but then we'll check back in at the bridge to Durin's Forge. Okay, and here we are, standing at the broken bridge. There is an orc banner over there, it looks like. There was one up on that bastion, or bulwark, or whatever you want to call it, fortification over there, but I shot it earlier on from one of the houses on that side, and I think there might be another one over there as well. So we're going to have to face some orcs as we come across here, but we are ready for that. We have all of our armor fully repaired and our weapons, and hopefully these platforms will make it across, because they don't always like to be attached to too many in one long string. Yeah, see, that one's not going to stay put, so let's see if we can reach. Can we reach over here? Aha, that's how we do it. There we go. One more for good measure. And in we charge.
Something's over there.
Banner down. They do like to interrupt my charged attacks, don't they?
That's one more for me.
Okay, so far so good. Did take a reasonable hit to the armor there, but nothing too bad. So let's see, up here I think was one, or maybe it might even have been up on that even higher ledge. Yeah, I guess it must have been up there. And there's another one on that side, I think, perhaps, but I can't see anything. So let's head on up here. See what's over here. Oh. Can I break that down? Oh, I can break this one down. Looks like the same design as the one at the Eastern Bastion, but this one actually does have a health, so I can break it down. And of course we have taken out Orctown here, so it doesn't matter how much noise I make, which is great. I think there ought to be remnants of a banner camp up here. Yeah, there it is. Orcish key and a chest. Excellent. Is there one on the other side that we need to clear out? It looks like there's going to be something over there, but I can't actually see anything. So let's push on in to the forge. Oh. Okay. This might be something we need better armor for. I think we'll leave it there for today, and we will check out this big guy on his big seat in Durin's Forge. Nah.
A troll? King of Moria? That'll look better with your head on a stick.
Yep, he's already throwing stuff at us. Okay. We're definitely not ready to fight him right now, so I'm going to have to scarper a minute. So yeah, I think we'll head back and take that guy on next time. We've definitely gone over time for today, so rather than pushing out even further, I'm going to go back and heal up, and we'll start the next episode with the fight against the Troll King. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you have, then please do leave a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss future episodes, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.